In the old quarter of the city, there was a narrow alley. By day, it looked ordinary. Children played, street vendors called out, and people greeted each other by name. But at night, the alley drowned in an eerie silence. At the very end of the alley stood an old house. People told many stories about it, but no one knew the truth. For several days, an observer noticed that despite the windows and doors being locked, strange sounds came from the house at night, faint thuds, footsteps, and sometimes the crash of something heavy falling. The observer's curiosity grew stronger each day. One night, he decided to uncover the mystery. The alley was deserted, dim streetlights flickered, and the wind whispered eerily. Step by step, he walked toward the house. A rusty lock hung on the front door, but strangely, a thin line of light leaked from behind it. He looked around. No one was there. Pulling out a small tool from his pocket, he began working on the lock. A few moments later, the lock clicked open. The door creaked loudly as it swung inward, like an old iron gate crying out. Inside, it was dark, but patches of pale light glowed faintly. The air smelled of damp wood and rot. He stepped cautiously into the inner room. Papers littered the floor, faint symbols were drawn on the walls, and in the corner stood an old desk piled with ledgers. He walked closer and opened one. The ledger was filled with handwritten notes, dates, numbers, and words like "payment complete" or "balance pending." Suddenly, his eyes caught a sketch of a map. It was clearly the alley, and a red mark pointed exactly at this very room. Before he could study it further, footsteps echoed behind him. He froze and turned sharply. In the dark, he saw a moving shadow drawing closer. Quickly, he hid behind a large wardrobe. The door creaked open again, and two men entered. Each carried a bag, speaking in hushed voices. One said, "Everything's fine. No one suspects a thing. We've been coming here for years, and nobody has found out." The other chuckled. "Yes, it's the safest spot. Even the police don't know where the real documents are kept." The hidden observer's heart raced. Now it was clear. This house wasn't abandoned at all. It was a hideout for crime. The two men placed their bags on the table. One opened his bag, revealing bundles of cash. The other began counting, noting figures into the ledger. The observer debated. Should he run or stay hidden? Just then, his foot pressed on a loose wooden plank, making a faint cracking noise. Both men spun around. "Who's there?" one shouted. Silence. Suspicious, one of them switched on a flashlight and swept the beam across the room. The light passed dangerously close to the wardrobe where the observer held his breath. After a tense moment, the men turned back to their work, muttering. Seizing the chance, the observer crept toward the door. He pushed it slowly, but the old hinges shrieked loudly. The men whipped around and lunged at him. He bolted, sprinting into the alley. His footsteps echoed loudly, chased by the pounding footsteps of the two men behind him. Through the twisting lanes, he darted left and right, until finally he slipped into a dark corner. The men ran past, unaware. Breathless, he waited until the sounds faded, then carefully made his way home. That night, he resolved, this must go to the police. The next morning, he went quietly to the police station, recounting everything, the ledgers, the money, the map. At first, they doubted him, but when he described the ledgers in detail, their expressions turned serious. That night, the police raided the house. They seized the bags of cash, stacks of forged documents, and the ledgers of secret accounts. The two men were arrested on the spot. News spread across the city. People were shocked to learn that the empty house in the silent alley had been a hub of crime all along. In the end, the courage of one ordinary man revealed the truth. If he had remained silent out of fear, the secret might have continued for years.